Hello everyone and welcome back to F1 23. Now before F1 24 comes out, I do want to do a full season of F1 23 career mode in the F1 23 cars, because it would be a bit silly to play a Formula 1 game without doing that. But I first want to learn the new circuits, Losail in Qatar and Las Vegas in Las Vegas. So let's take a little lap around the circuit in the good old safety car, and we'll have a look around and see what the circuit is like. It's quite a complex circuit. I don't know the exact number of corners. I'm sure Crofty will say during the intro, but yeah, it's an easy circuit to get lost. I will say that. It's hard to tell one corner from, some others in certain cases, and yeah, can expect that to become an issue while I'm still learning the circuit. But driving the safety car around here feels alright. The safety car suffers from a lot of understeer compared to the Formula 2 cars that I have been driving in this game, so yeah, can't expect too much. It's what it reminds me of is, in Gran Turismo terms, just using like comfort tyres, which, to be honest, that's probably what it's driving on. But yeah, it's very, very understeery, and you can see a little bit off at certain stages throughout the lap. But I'm looking forward to testing this out in a Formula 1 car with the high downforce. Some of these corners are going to be absolutely insane. So as we are continuing to just take this lap, it obviously takes quite a significant amount of time longer in the safety car, but we are steadily making our way towards the end of the lap now. Just a couple of corners to go, and we'll see the pit entry off to the right hand side. That will be something we'll need to learn as well. And now through the final corner. One thing I did notice though as I was doing this lap, a severe lack of decent overtaking opportunities, and we've just invalidated the lap, but it's fine. I'm not really too bothered about that. But yeah, that is a lap in the safety car. So yeah, let's get into some F1 machinery and see how it goes. After we do a couple of burnouts, because why not? But yeah, this car actually does some pretty good burnouts. Better than I was expecting. I thought it was just going to try and drive around in circles, but no, it can get the wheels spinning, which is pretty cool. But the smoke effects, they don't sort of chase the car around the same way they do in Gran Turismo. They kind of just disappear very quickly, but still cool. But anyway, we now head into qualifying, and we're driving as Oscar Piastri.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
So yeah, we did one flying lap in Q1. We actually end up right behind our teammate, but we're P16 and 17 respectively, so not a great start to qualifying really. And I'd hope we can do a little bit better than that. We should at least get into Q2. So we go again. Missed the first Apex Air slightly, but carry the speed through well enough. It was actually so weird to get back into the Formula 1 cars, because I haven't driven a Formula 1 car in an F1 game since Breaking Point. That was the last time. So yeah, it took a bit of getting used to just the handling model of the Formula 1 cars in this game. Yeah, just the quickness of the steering, how much speed you can carry, and yeah, it's really strange to describe, because it still feels kind of understeery, but it's really quick. So yeah, I don't know, it's a weird thing to describe. But anyway, as we continue on through the lap, a little bit off course, but it doesn't really seem to matter too much, as we are beginning to catch up to another car, so hopefully that doesn't slow us down. But I think we're going to be okay. We've got enough of a gap there, so we don't have to worry about that too much. We go a bit wide there though, and this is a very tricky sequence of corners to get the line right, but we survived for the most part. And now we're coming up to the final corner, and yeah, a bit narrow on the entry, but still very much learning this circuit. In Formula 1 terms, this is, the second lap I've done, So, yeah, anyway, we get to the end of the session, and we're going to be fastest? What? Okay, that makes no sense. Sure. And Lando Norris right there as well in P5. 7/10 clear. With a 1 minute 26.9. I'm going to make a note of that because that makes no sense. I don't think the lap was that good. But anyway, knocked out we have Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Nico Hülkenberg, Pierre Gasly, and Logan Sargent. Not getting into Q2. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens in the next session. That was a little bit unexpected, but yeah, that's what's happened here in Q1. Was that lap a fluke, or will I need to turn up the difficulty for the race? We'll see as we now get into Q2. And we're going to skip straight on to the end of Q2 because it was terrible. I couldn't replicate the lap, and yeah, we're down in P13. So, I think that lap was just a fluke. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, I could not repeat that. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That just was a little bit not so good. If I managed to repeat that lap time, I would have gone fastest in Q2. So I don't honestly know what to think at the moment. Yeah, just no good. We're going to be starting out of P13 for the race then. So let's just get into it and hope that we can move further up the grid and finish in the points. That will be the target.
Welcome to Qatar, and hello from the desert rain. Well, there's not been much rainfall, but it's concentrated right here and just in time for the Qatar Grand Prix. We're back here in Losail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, Bottas, Zhou, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Albon, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Gasly, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Anthony Davidson will be sharing his insight alongside me once again today. What should we be looking out for, Ant? Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? A couple of favourites for the win then, but who comes out on top doesn't really matter as long as they give us an entertaining show en route to the checkered flag. And we want to see fair fighting, of course, out there on the track. Let's hope the stewards don't have to get involved too much today.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I swear that it feels like there are a lot more than 16 corners at this track, but anyway. Let's take a look at strategy. Looks kind of interesting. We might actually go for the all 3 tyre compounds. Could actually be a viable strategy here. Softs, mediums and hards. Soft 2 sets of mediums could also work, but sometimes it's fun just to try all 3 compounds, but we'll see as we go through. 5 red lights are on, and lights are out, and away we go very quickly here for the Qatar Grand Prix, and it's an alright start for us as we try to look for a move to the inside. No space there though, and we just have to fall back in line, and we got a little bit swamped there on the entry to the corner, so let's see if we can maybe make some spots back. Couldn't quite get any kind of run on the exit as we are side by side with one of the Alpha Tauris. If we can make this move stick around the outside and trying to hold on to this position, millimeters between us, and Yuki Tsunoda there will get through. So we've dropped down into P14, lost one place off the start, maybe more as we have a big off there, and we'll just about be able to hold on. Actually, we might go for the dive back down the inside of Tsunoda from off track there. That was probably a bit cheeky, but as Tsunoda was held up in the queue, that gave us the opportunity to do that. You can see running deep into a lot of the corners here, and I actually found myself being a bit distracted by the line of cars in front and losing sight of you know, all of the reference points I was using when I was learning the circuit. So that took me a bit of getting used to. Usually when I'm following another car I go faster, but it really was not helping me at this stage. So yeah, it proved quite tricky, a little bit off circuit there as we continue to race through. But anyway, we're back into our starting position of 13th.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
And no damage, which is the main thing. We did have a few bits of contact and a few little moments on curbs throughout that lap, but it seems like we were able to get away with it. We're up into P13 at the end of the first lap. Still got plenty of work to do. So we continue on through the race.
Okay, DRS is now available.
DRS available now as the fights begin just up the road. And we've got Carlos Sainz looking to make the move on Zhou Guanyu. Sainz a fair way down in the field at the moment, so he'll also be looking to fight his way through. But yeah, at the moment we are just sitting in behind, not able to do much at the moment. But here might be an opportunity. We have a look down the inside, and we'll just about get through there. And we'll make the move.
Brilliant, nice move. Keep going.
On Carlos Sainz, move ourselves up into P12. So that's an important one. Sainz, obviously the Ferrari, a very quick car, and now we've got some you know, teams from further down the order that will hopefully, if we can pass them, they might be able to hold up Carlos Sainz. Unfortunately though for Ferrari, the day gets worse for them. Charles Leclerc retires with a mechanical failure, so misfortune for Charles Leclerc there. But anyways, we continue on. We took a while to actually get this move on Zhou, but we'll make the move down the inside. It might not actually be done yet because we went very deep, and Zhou might just be able to get the switch back. Doesn't happen, and we're able to hold on. So yeah, it did take us a fair bit of time to actually construct that maneuver, and we had to be quite aggressive and late on the brakes to get that done. Zhou got a nice switch back initially, but we were able to hold on. Zhou just didn't get the power down well enough, and we're able to get through. Also note that Sainz is on the hard compound tyres, as is Lance Stroll ahead of us. So there are tyre compound differences for those up and down the field as we go on board with Carlos Sainz. He heads into the pit lane, and this was actually my first look at pit entry, watching Carlos Sainz come into the lane, so this was actually quite helpful to see.
We're approaching the pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
Medium tyres will be going on next for us, and that might be the only compound we use for the rest of the race. The soft tyre seems to be holding on pretty well, so I can't really imagine we're going to need the hards, because these tyres still feel alright. They're not as good as they were, but they still feel pretty good. And soon enough we will come into the pits for that stop. That does mean that Sainz will get the undercut on us, but I just wanted to stick to the strategy we had. I didn't want to you know, extend stints and try and, you know, shift things around. I just thought we'll stick to the planned strategy for this one. This is basically just a test race anyway, so there's nothing really at stake. But
okay,
of course,
go!
I do.
That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
I do still want to you know, do the best job that I can, and hopefully get some points for McLaren here. So as we come out of pit lane now,
up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
we've dropped back down into P13, and we have all the work to do once again. But yeah, of course I don't really know what strategy everyone else is on. We'll just race the cars around us, and oh wow, we are immediately under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo, so we need to get these tyres up to temperature and get a move on here, because Daniel Ricciardo is right behind us. But I think we'll just about be okay, because it's quite difficult to overtake around this circuit regardless of tyres. And yeah, we're able to hold on eventually there. So as we carry on, pit stops being made, and we move up.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.2 seconds.
And around the outside, late move as out of the pit lane came Lance Stroll. So we did get the undercut on the Aston Martin, and that moves us up into a P12. So that was an important move there, as this is actually a moment I caught from the highlights at the end of the race. Fernando Alonso going for a big spin. Unfortunately, I didn't catch this during the race, and that was the entire clip from the highlights, which I had to slow down about 8 times.
Still looking good.
But anyway, that's what happened there. And Alonso going for a spin, so I'm not sure where he is in the field.
Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 7.8 seconds.
At this stage, but Alonso not having the luck here.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
But anyway, as we carry on through everyone else's pit stops.
You're running P9, keep going.
Yeah, up into P9, so things are going well for us now, as we once again catch up to Zhou Guanyu. So I think Zhou is yet to make a pit stop, and out of the final corner this time we've got to get an easy run on Zhou Guanyu, and that'll move us up into 8th position. So we're well into the points now, and passing cars that are yet to stop in this race. So we're looking really good at this point. We just need to try and keep pushing and make the most of these tyres, as the radio guy has a rather concerning message for us.
We're low on fuel. Let's conserve what we have left. Start using the car's drag to slow you down ahead of the braking points by just lifting off the throttle briefly before you start to actively brake. That'll help.
And yeah, we are critically low on fuel. 0.85 laps down on the fuel we need to finish. So yeah, we're gonna need to lift and coast a lot. No fuel maps in the F1 games anymore, so no lean mix to save fuel. Unless we get a safety car, we could actually find ourselves in a lot of trouble here. So we'll see how we go, but as we're trying to save fuel, of course, that is going to slow us down, and I really don't want to lose any positions, so we're having to do the impossible here, trying to save fuel while also not losing time and positions. But as we are fighting it out here with Fernando Alonso, who is trying to recover from that spin earlier on, hopefully we can hold on to this position. But yeah, Alonso looking strong at this stage of the race, and yeah, trying to recover. But yeah, we are...
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 7.4 seconds.
Really struggling as we go deep there. That's going to give the position to Fernando Alonso. But anyway, as we continue to carry on, Carlos Sainz heads into the pit lane, and that'll give us the position as we lift off a massive amount there to just coast it into the first corner. And yeah, that will help save the fuel for us. We just need to keep doing that every single lap at a lot of corners around the lap, and we might be able to save the fuel, but saving a whole lap of fuel just about is no easy task. So we head into the pit lane then, and yeah, we'll get a new set of the medium tyres on. This is our scheduled lap, no changes in strategy for today, and yeah, we'll just taxi in and get some new tyres on, and hopefully these will give us the grip to...
Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Hopefully these will give us the grip to set some good lap times while still saving fuel. So that is the target for now. So
pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
We've once again dropped into, well now, P14 as we've been overtaken around the outside by Nico Hulkenberg, but I think we should be able to re-overtake the Haas even while we are trying to look after the fuel. The traction through there is enough to just get us through anyway. So back up into P13, and yeah, we just need to really focus on saving fuel and hope that the pace is still good enough. So yeah, it's not going to be easy as we have the run on Yuki Tsunoda now, and we'll make the move along the straight easy enough there, and we'll get past Yuki Tsunoda. Radio, it's broken apparently, so that's great. But regardless, we're up into P12 as we continue to carry on, and we will get past Alexander Albon there. No issue getting past the Williams car. Running well in this race at the moment. Now P12, was P11. Not sure if Albon has
stopping now.
Any more stops to make, but as Ocon makes his way into the pit lane, we're up into the top 10.
P10, you're currently in P10.
So, yeah, we can still definitely get a points finish here, as Fernando Alonso now has a mechanical failure. What a shame. He was recovering well from that spin, but the engine decided it had had enough, and Fernando Alonso will not take any further part in this one as we make the move all the way around the outside of Logan Sargent, who's a lap down. But yeah, that was nice nonetheless. He would have been lifting out of it for the blue flags, but still, that was cool. Anyway, we get past Valtteri Bottas pretty easily. Probably could have even done that without the DRS, but it helped us along the straight regardless. And now we are on the charge with a lot of cars. I guess these guys are all on one-stoppers because they're going quite slow at this point, probably on old tyres. That was very close with Lance Stroll there. He saw us coming and did a great job to give us the room on the inside. And yeah, that got a bit close. Radio.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
So yeah, that was a close one, but we got away with it. And now we are in P7, a big gap to Sainz in front, but as we continue on to the start of the final lap of the race, you can see we have smashed that margin to under 3 seconds, and while we may not quite get there, I think we can get very close. So the thing is now as well, we've also got the fuel situation at least 95% under control, so we don't have to save much more to get to the end. So it could actually be pretty close between myself and Sainz now that we can run at our full pace. So we'll see what happens on this final lap of the race. It's possible that we might just get there as we now are basically in the clear with fuel. So as we work our way around the back section of the circuit, you can see that gap visibly closing between myself and Sainz, but overtaking opportunities are few and far between, so we're going to need some really good pace over Sainz. We do have fresher tyres on our car as well. We made our final stop later, and that could be what's making the difference for us, as out in front, Max Verstappen wins the Qatar Grand Prix, and not by a small margin. Absolute domination from Max Verstappen as we bring it around the final few corners. What are we going to do? Big dive down the inside of Carlos Sainz, and we're very deep. We're not going to be able to get this done. Sainz gets the switch back. It's a drag race on the exit. We get the DRS, and that is going to seal the deal for us. We're going to have a look at a replay of that on board with Carlos Sainz, and huge lunge down the inside. Sainz was actually a little bit compromised. He got the switch back really nicely, but we were still on the outside by the time he got to the exit curb, or where he wanted to get to there, and he wasn't able to use the full track width. Had to lift a bit, and that gave us the run.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Goodness me. P6. That was a crazy finish. I didn't think we were quite going to get there. We had to be aggressive, but that's a nice result here at Losail.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So it is a Red Bull 1-2 with Max Verstappen taking the win ahead of Sergio Perez, and George Russell stands on the podium in third.
So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we have it, the end of the race here at Qatar, and my first experience of this circuit. So, that was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that track. Overtaking did prove to be very difficult. That first overtake on Zhou Guanyu was very difficult to get done. Took a long time to actually construct that pass, but yeah, it's a really fun track, and you know, overtaking is still very much possible. It's easier than a track like the Hungaroring, say. So this will definitely be you know, on the calendar in my future series, which yeah, I'm looking forward to plenty of races here. It's a very fun track. But yeah, a little run through the results, just because that's what I always do these days. Red Bull 1-2 with Verstappen ahead of Perez. Mercedes 3-4, there's the Alonso spin, with Hamilton ahead, with Russell ahead of Hamilton. McLaren 5-6 with Norris ahead of myself. We did get the fastest lap though. P7 was Sainz, 8th was Stroll, 9th was Bottas, with Esteban Ocon rounding out the top 10. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope hope F1 continues to come to Qatar for a while yet, because yeah, it's a really cool track. And once I sort of got my head around it and stopped getting lost, it was a very fun lap to put together. Still not sure what happened in Q1, how I managed to set such a fast lap time compared to anything I did after that point, but that's just one of those mysteries. But yeah, I think that is probably just about going to do it for this one. So I will say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. In the next one, I'll be doing the race, a 100% race at Las Vegas to check that circuit out. But for now, that is all. So thanks so much for watching. I said that already. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It is always very helpful. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. And goodbye. Meow.